Hi everybody, I'm Gigi from Veganville, and we're here with another installment of Who Dat Vegan. Tonight we travel to Tinseltown. It's about 6 hours south of where I reside right now, and Andy Warhol once said, it's a land filled with plastic. Plastic people, plastic things, but that's okay, I want to be plastic. I don't know if that's true, certainly not with our next guest. We have Kylie from Fellowship of the Vegetable and from the awesome Etsy store called Fabulously Fierce. And Fabulously Fierce, if you haven't ventured there, carries all things punk, KY, I hope I pronounced that properly, rockabilly, and maybe psychobilly too, if I'm not mistaken. I'm like loving their dish towels and their aprons. So let's welcome the adorable and newer vegan Kylie. Hi Kylie. Let's start with the stats, and by now if you've followed us during MOFA, you know what they are, everybody, so here they are.
Hi Gigi, thanks so much for having me on your blog Veganville and Who Dat Vegan. So to start, here are my stats. I can't see that. So my name's Kylie. I'm currently living in Los Angeles. I was not vegetarian before going vegan. I jumped right into veganism, and I've been a vegan for about 1.5 years. My husband is vegan. He recently made the switch, and you know, there's really, I can't think of a reason why not to be vegan, for me at least, but the main reason for me is my love of animals. I really didn't want to participate in their torture anymore, so going vegan was the right choice for me.
I think I read somewhere that your husband isn't yet vegan, so could you just answer me, do you keep a vegan household? And what are some of the things you make that your non-vegan husband really digs?
So actually, my husband is vegan. He recently decided to make the switch without any prompting from me a few months ago, and so that was a really nice surprise for me. But up until that point, I did keep a vegan household, and he ate vegan in the house. Some of the things that he really likes that I make are vegan pizzas. His favorite was probably the French bread pizza I made with smart bacon and meatless crumbles and Daya cheese, and that was a really good one we both enjoyed. And I mean, anytime you put pizza in front of his face, he likes it. So I think seeing that there was some good vegan pizza options made the transition for him a little easier.
What was the first vegan cookbook you bought? How many recipes did you make from it before you decided to go vegan?
So the first vegan cookbook I bought was The Kind Diet by Alicia Silverstone, and it's a book and a cookbook combined, and I actually haven't made any of those recipes yet. A lot of them look really good. I'm usually a get home from work and whip something up really quick kind of cook. But I do own a lot of vegan cookbooks, and eventually, hopefully, I'll have the time to get around to actually, you know, making a good meal from those. And I decided to go vegan before buying any cookbooks. So the decision was already made, and now I just have a huge selection of good recipes to choose from when I have the time.
What was the deciding moment where you said, okay, that's it? No more In-N-Out burgers in LA, none of that stuff, no more milkshakes from In-N-Out. Okay, I'm gonna go vegan now.
So, funny story actually, deciding moment for me, and it was a really, really long journey. I was in high school, 14 years old, I think maybe a sophomore, and a bunch of friends had gone to McDonald's after school to eat. And I was sitting there eating a hamburger with a guy who was vegan, and I didn't really know what that meant at the time. And he asked me what I wanted to be when I grow up. And as I'm chowing down on my hamburger, I told him that I wanted to be an animal rights activist. So the irony didn't really strike me until he pointed out how interesting my answer was, given that I'm sitting there eating a hamburger. And it was the first moment that I really thought about what I was eating and what it meant. And from that moment on, I went vegetarian. And I stayed vegetarian for a couple years, but I was in high school, I didn't do it right. I got sick, so I went back to eating chicken and fish a couple years later, but I have not touched beef since that moment. And it's funny because I actually worked for In-N-Out Burger for about 6 years and never ate a hamburger the entire time I worked there. But their milkshakes are good, but there are really good vegan milkshakes as well. So that was kind of the moment that it really hit home for me. And then a year and a half ago, I just decided that I couldn't ignore what was going on in factory farms anymore and the horrors that the animals have to endure. And I decided that that was it for me, and I was going to go vegan. And I was eating chicken and fish at the time, and I just went straight to veganism. I didn't skip a beat or anything.
And it's funny, what else do you do on your blog? I feel like the tables are turned here. Didn't you once interview me?
It's true. I have interviewed you. That is one of the things I do on my blog, Fellowship of the Vegetable, on Blogspot or Blogger. So I do vegan interviews. That's probably my favorite part of the blog, is listening to everybody's stories and getting inspiration from them and their journeys. I also do recipes and restaurant reviews. And those are the three main components of my blog. I started it about a year ago just to kind of capture my journey into the vegan lifestyle.
And how many animal companions do you have?
So I have 2 animal companions. We rescued 2 dogs from a great organization up in the Bay Area called Furry Friends Rescue. The first one is Henry. He is a miniature pinscher terrier chihuahua mix. And he is a handful, but we love him. And our second one is Willow, who is also a chihuahua mix, and she's named after Willow from Buffy the Vampire Slayer because she's got these big evil witch eyes. But she's a sweet girl, and we love her. And our dogs are our children, and I would probably have 50 more if I had the space, but we have a tiny apartment, so 2 small dogs is pretty much our limit.
I think it's really brave of you. This is your first year in MoFo, and you're going strong, I have to say. You made some mouth-watering avocado sandwiches that maybe you can share with us tonight.
Thank you. Yeah, MoFo has been a lot of fun, and it's really forced me to keep up with my blog, which I definitely need that kick in the butt every once in a while to stay motivated. So I've made 2 avocado recipes recently. One is the grilled cheese sandwich using Daiya cheese, sliced avocado, and tomatoes. Just layer that on and grill it up, and you can find that recipe on my blog. And the second one was an avocado bruschetta, made with fresh chunks of avocado, olive oil, red wine vinegar, and some spices, and you just kind of mix that all up and throw it on some crusty bread, and they're both super delicious. You can't really go wrong with avocado.
I also love one of your icons and photos of you on your blog, and I think it's a 1920s or 30s replica of the power. We can do it. Oh, that's so cool. And you know what? I think just by transitioning to veganhood, that means that we can do it. Can you share with us your George Bernard Shaw quote?
Absolutely. The quote is, "While we ourselves are the living graves of murdered beasts, how can we expect any ideal conditions on this earth?" Which pretty much speaks for itself.
What is it you want to cook for us tonight?
Spicy garlic spaghetti.
Thanks so much for being so accommodating and so cool. I know I'm getting this to you late, but I knew you'd be a fantastic, or should we say fabulous, interview.
Thank you, GiGi. It's really been great being interviewed by you.
See you soon. Good night, everybody, from Who Dat Vegan.